How will it happen? How will you finally hit 100K? Or how will you finally start your business? Or how will you finally go viral? Or how will you finally become a millionaire? The how, I hear it all the time. The how is truly the miracle. Hi, I'm Roma. I am a sales and systems coach and consultant. Usually I go over strategy in a lot of my YouTube videos, but this is the one time I'm just gonna go over mindset and how that really helps your strategy. So if you're like me and you're very analytical and you love knowing the how and you love knowing the steps, I will say that at one point, you literally don't know. The how is truly a miracle, and this is the one thing that has allowed me to keep my sanity. And I'll give you guys all a story. When I was in middle school, I dreamed of always starting my business in 2020. It was my dream. I had no clue how it was gonna happen, and I was going crazy. Over the past decade, ever since from middle school to high school to college, I had started all these little business ideas. I was reselling clothes, I was starting different businesses, I was trying to get my friends involved, I was trying to get my sister involved, and they kept flopping, they kept failing. And 2020 kept getting closer and closer, and I'm like, how the hell am I going to start a business before 2020? And it was 2018. I still didn't have a good business getting off the ground. I was making some money from side hustles, but it wasn't a real business, as in I couldn't see the path of hitting 100K a year with a business. It was 2019. I had my 9 to 5 and I hated it, and I was like, how the hell am I going to have a business? And then it was 2020. The pandemic hit, and I'm like, I still don't have a business. I still don't know how it's going to happen. And I had kind of just given up at that point. I was like, okay, maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe it's not going to happen. And I completely detached. I just went along the year like everyone else. I was focused on the pandemic and had all these little side things going on. I got into new hobbies, I got into new activities, and then of course this thing that I didn't know about in 2010 came out, TikTok. No one would have predicted that this app that I didn't know about in 2010 was going to exist in 2020. No one told me that how I would start the business I have right now was going to be from a TikTok video that mentioned my business coach that I ended up hiring in November. No one told me that this app would have changed my life. I say this story because there was no way in 2010 as a middle schooler did I know that this app that didn't even exist a decade later was going to come into my life, and that is the miracle. That is the how. Now, I'm not going to say I gave up, right? I tried my hardest to have a business. I tried my best to put different things together, but I always knew I was going to start something in 2020 because I always had this idea that I wanted EST established in 2020. That's how it happened. I'll give you another story. I really wanted to make more money in October of 2024, and I had no clue how. I had run out of all my ideas. I had done all these master classes. I had done all of these launches. I've done all these strategies. I've pretty much hired every coach under the sun, and I still didn't know what I was going to do. And then I was just looking for a sign. I was like, how am I going to make more money? What's the next strategy? What am I going to do? I did not get this idea from anyone. I literally just woke up. I remember getting ready for my nighttime routine, and I went on Instagram and I saw there was an event in New York City, and it was for my ideal client. And I remember I was like, oh, maybe I could go to this event. Maybe my ideal client will buy my services. And that's how my speaking career got started, right? From that event that I had no clue I was gonna do and that I just found on Instagram in October, then I got invited to 5 more speaking events, and that helped me grow my Instagram. It helped me grow my YouTube. It helped me in so many ways. And from that one little event that no one could have told me I was gonna get, I was able to get so many more sales. Again, the how was the mystery. No one knew that I was going to get all these leads, all these clients, all these sales from the events, right? So I will say a lot of the times, if you're an entrepreneur and you're going crazy with how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that, still do the work, still show up every day, still do what you know is important. But I drew this for you guys. This is what business and life look like. This right here. As you see, this when you're a newer entrepreneur, this black square is the strategy. You know exactly where to go, you know what to do. Then it starts getting a little less clear. You're like, okay, do I do this? Do I do that? Whose strategy or post do I follow, right? So then you go here. And then things get a little bit less clear. You're like, okay, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still doing the same strategies, but what's the next step? Then things start getting even less clear, right? So this is pretty much the path of entrepreneurs. People, again, get you started with the foundation. They have the strategy to maybe get you to 50K, 75K, 100K. But then getting to the 100K to the $1 million level, people will give you the strategy, people will give you different play-by-plays, but your $1 million journey and someone else's $1 million journey is going to look so different. Someone might have gone viral or hit $1 million through speaking engagements. Another person might have hit the $1 million year through a bunch of sales calls, right? But everyone's journey is going to look different. So if you notice yourself copying a ton of other people, You're like, why isn't their strategy working? Or why isn't even the strategies I teach you guys? I'm like, why is it working for Roma, but why is it not working for me? If you're past like the 100K mark in your business, you might be past this black square. Like you might be on square 4 or 5, and you see how unsure or unrealistic or unknowable it is. It's a lot of that. I want to have a business, but I don't know where it's going to be. Or that app might not have been created for me to glow up or for me to find my mentor. So I will say, still show up and do what you know you have to do. But also know that sometimes you are not going to know the how. It's just going to show up in your life and you're going to be ready for it. I would have never been prepared for my business to blow up in 2020 if I didn't have all those failed attempts, pretty much from middle school to college. I would have never been a good public speaker in October when I got that first speaking event if I did not do all those launches, right? So just know that everything that you're doing right now is preparing you for that mysterious how, that mysterious thing that doesn't even exist yet. And this is just for all the entrepreneurs that are going crazy and don't know or feeling like they don't understand what the next step is. There is no next step sometimes. Like going back to this, there is no next step. You might be on step 4 and it's looking a little shaky and you have to keep going. You have to keep doing what you're doing because the how is the miracle. You're not going to know exactly how things work out. You're not going to know the step by step once you go past the 100K level. I will just say the miracle is in the how. So that's why I wanted to create this video. If any of you are hitting your head against the wall trying to figure out the next step, just keep doing what you're doing and know that the miracle is coming of figuring out the next step. The next path is coming. The next piece is going to come into your life, into your business. I hope that helped with mindset. Let me know in the chat, in the comment section, if this helped you, if this kind of helped click something together in your strategy and your mindset. And yeah, good luck. You got this.